loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we have a new pick a card reading all about the next chapter of your love life. What is happening next in your love life? So if you clicked on this video, if you are curious about this topic, that is what we are going to be asking the tarot cards today, and we're going to be connecting with Spirit to bring you information for your highest good at this time. And if you are new to these types of videos, I'm going to give you a quick little explanation about how it works. But I also wanted to quickly mention that my jewelry company, Luna Gem, we just restocked our charmed bracelets and so many other bracelets that were out of stock for so long. So if you like crystals and jewelry and all of that, definitely check out Luna Gem because we have so many different types of crystals and jewelry. So we have rings, we have necklaces, we have bracelets, and so many other types of things on there. They are made super high quality. Our bracelets, you can actually wear them in water and they don't tarnish, and we make them according to your wrist size. So definitely check out the beaded bracelets. And then also, again, we have so many other different types of jewelry and crystals on the website. I actually get so many questions from people about where I get my bracelets from, and I'm surprised that maybe I don't talk about it enough. But yeah, I make these gorgeous bracelets and all of that. So all that information will be linked down below in case you are curious in getting yourself some amazing high vibe crystal jewelry and possibly some crystals, because we also sell crystals on the website and so many other things. So yes, if you want some of that good energy, all that will be linked down below. So the way that this video works is I have 4 different groups in front of me, and you're going to use your intuition to choose one of the 4 different options. Sometimes your intuition will guide you towards multiple groups, and that just means that there's multiple messages for you. But most of the time, your intuition is going to guide you towards one of the piles that is going to reveal exactly what's happening next in your love life. So your intuition is your intuitive psychic sense, which everyone has, and it's very connected to your energy, and it can also sense the energy that is behind these cards, and your intuition will know exactly which group holds the relevant information for you. So perhaps when you saw this video or clicked on this video, maybe your eyes were drawn to one of the 4 groups. And then that would be, of course, the pile that your intuition is calling to you towards, and that would be your group. Or maybe if you're having trouble tapping into your intuition, another thing that you can do is hold your hand over each of the piles and see if you feel a magnetic pull towards one of them. Maybe one of them you're just going to feel magnetized towards, maybe one of them you're going to get a hot or cold sensation, or there's just going to be a different feeling when you go over one of them. So that is also a way to tap into your intuition and let your intuition speak to you, is by using the hand technique, or you can even close your eyes and wait for a number between 1 and 4 to pop into your head, and then the first number that pops into your head without you even thinking about it, that is your intuition. So after you're done figuring out which group is meant for you, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box, so that you can easily navigate and skip right ahead to your personal reading about this next chapter in your love life. What is happening next? So that is all how this video works. If you would like to see a close-up of the crystals, then I will show you a close-up of each of the crystals. So this is for group number 1. So if you're drawn to this crystal or to group number 1, then this is going to be your reading all about the next chapter of your love life, what is happening next, what you can expect. Group number 2, we have this gorgeous piece of Thulite. So if you find yourself drawn to the Thulite crystal, then that is going to be your group all about your love life. Group number 3, we have this stunning piece of titanium aura quartz. So if you're drawn to this crystal or to group number 3, that is going to be your pile. Then over on group number 4, we have this stunning piece of Chalcedony. It's very angelic. Like this color, this periwinkle color is just so angelic. So if you're drawn to this crystal or to group number 4, that is going to be your pile, all about your love life in this next chapter and what you can expect coming next. So those are our different group options. You can pause the video, take as much time as you need in order to find the group or the pile that you are the most drawn towards. However, usually intuition speaks very quickly and very fast. So you can use those methods that I suggested earlier in today's video in order to find your pile. And then again, there's timestamps linked down below so you can easily navigate through this video. And I will see you in your reading. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so my group number ones, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my group one. So before diving into your reading, let's do the Astro Dice and let's see the next chapter of your love life. We have the moon in Capricorn in the 10th house. Oh, interesting, because the 10th house actually deals with our career and our goals and our ambitions. It is also a house where it's like self-improvement, climbing the ladder. It is also correlated to the planet Saturn, which is the planet of commitments, and it's correlated to the energy of Capricorn, which is improvement. It's getting to the top and it's putting in the work, putting in the effort and all of that. So it's interesting, we also have the zodiac sign of Capricorn and also the moon. So the moon is your emotions. I'm almost curious if you've been doing like emotional work or healing yourself or wanting to really develop yourself to become even higher and better and greater, because that is the first message that I'm getting here, is that you've been really putting in the work to improve yourself to become like a better person or even better partner. If you're already in a relationship, perhaps you're wanting to show up and be an even better partner and really put in the work and effort and all of that. Also, this could be raising your standards also. If you are single or even if you're in a relationship, because we can raise our standards at any time, I am seeing that this next chapter, you are absolutely raising your standards. You are not wanting to fall down the ladder and go into the same old patterns or fall for the same type of people anymore or settle for the same type of situations and circumstances that you have in the past. So that is a huge emotional shift that's happening for you. You are seriously climbing the ladder, and what is coming next in your love life is going to be so much higher and greater than what you've experienced in the past. Okay, what I can tell you for sure with this Capricorn and 10th house energy and the moon being here is you are never going to let yourself get emotionally invested in something that is not worth your time, not worth your energy, and doesn't show a promising outcome. It's like you are really investing in yourself, you are really seeing your worth, and you're so ready to set boundaries, like proper boundaries of, you know, I'm not wasting my time on this. I am not going to allow this situation to play out anymore. Those raised standards are going to help you so much in your love life. And if some of you are single right now, I'm almost seeing that your next relationship is going to be with somebody who's really successful, because I feel like you're not wanting to settle for somebody who's still trying to figure themselves out. So if you are single right now, your next relationship is going to be with somebody who has already found themselves. They've created a foundation and they are already set and good to go. They're like a responsible person who has their life together, who has themselves figured out, and who has already created success. Because what I'm sort of feeling from your energy is you are somebody who, like, you strive to improve yourself a lot. You strive to be the best version of yourself, and you also deserve to have somebody who's gonna be the same way and is gonna wanna invest in those same values, right? So that's something huge that's coming through right there. If you're already in a relationship, I'm almost seeing that either one of you, perhaps this is you or perhaps this is more their energy, or even both, but there's gonna be like a big focus on creating more success, which is gonna create a more solid, secure foundation for your relationship, because of course, you know, depending on how our life is going always really reflects in the stability of the relationship and things like that. You know, it can always just help out. So something that I'm sort of seeing for you is either you or your partner is going to find more success in life, create more success. And it literally could even be both of you are doing this, but it's going to help the relationship go to the next level, because it's sort of like you both are rising up to a higher place together. So let's dive into our other cards that just came out here. There was a bunch that just like flew out. So we have Queen of Cups, if this camera will focus on it. Queen of Cups is reversed here. One message that I'm getting here is that perhaps in the past, you have allowed yourself to get emotionally invested in things that weren't worth your time or your energy. Maybe you've even given so much to other people without expecting much in return, and then you've noticed that that has been really draining towards your energy. A huge thing that I'm also seeing for you is you focusing on climbing the ladder for yourself, making yourself happy, doing things that are going to bring you success and happiness, rather than focusing all your energy on trying to make somebody else happy, trying to improve somebody else's life. I'm almost getting this, like, perhaps in the past, at some point in the past, you were always attracting people that maybe, you know, had dreams, but they didn't know how to go about achieving them. And so you would invest all of your time and energy towards them and trying to get them to be successful. But then you were kind of realizing, like, you know, that's up to the person to do. It's not up to me to motivate them, to give them the energy, to give them the resources. It's kind of up to them. And maybe you're kind of realizing, I want to invest that energy into myself now. I want to encourage myself. I want to make things great for myself. So that is coming through big with the Queen of Cups being reversed. This next chapter is you getting more emotionally invested into yourself, rather than, trying to give all of your energy to somebody else. Like, it has to have balance, right? So that's a huge thing that's coming through. And then we have Two of Cups. So it's interesting, when we fill up our own cup, we feel amazing, right? But then imagine how amazing we would feel if our cup was full and then we met somebody who also knew how to fill their own cup and didn't rely on us to do it for them. And then we just had that beautiful balance where both people were, like, you know, filling their own needs, filling their own dreams, and then you come together and then just amplify that within each other. That is like the most healthiest relationship dynamic, and I'm really seeing that this next chapter for you is about creating things like that. And so things that were making you feel drained, I feel like there's going to be conversations within this next chapter, or realizations, or promises to yourself even, that you are no longer going to give all of your energy away. Instead, it's kind of like, I'm going to fill my cup and then create a relationship that doesn't rely on codependency. Instead, it's kind of like, we're both individuals, we're both independent, but then we come together and it's just like, we get to share all the goodness together. Not saying that, you know, that I don't want anybody to misunderstand me, so I'm definitely not saying that this next relationship or your realization is going to be like that you want a relationship where there's like no support or anything like that. That is not what I'm saying at all. So just to clarify, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be a supportive person anymore. It doesn't mean that you're not going to want a partner that also supports you, etc., etc. But instead, it doesn't come from a place of like, I'm giving all of my energy to somebody else while it's taking away from me, right? This new dynamic is, it's not going to take away from me, nor am I going to be with somebody who I feel like I need to steal their energy or something like that, or I feel behind with. It's sort of like getting on the same level, finding somebody who's on the same level as you, who shares the same values, who shares the same kind of drive and ambitions and things like that, and where it really works. It's in harmony rather than something that's draining. So hopefully that's making sense there. But I'm really feeling like that's coming out. For those of you who are already in a relationship, I'm just seeing conversations happening around this where there is a new dynamic being birthed for you. For those of you that are single, I'm seeing you raising your standards, and I see you meeting somebody who's literally on your same level. This next chapter is meeting people who are like, they meet those new standards that you have, okay? Ace of Crystals being reversed over here. It almost seems like in the past, there was things like ideas that you wanted to manifest, but they weren't really manifesting. If you had intentions in the past, for example, if you're single right now and you had an intention that, like, I really want to meet somebody who has their stuff together, this was sort of like perhaps the disappointment that it wasn't happening. However, in this next chapter, I'm really seeing, because of these new promises that you are making, because of these new actions that you're taking, this whole energy is shifting around. This whole energy is shifting around where you're going to start accumulating what it is that you want. Ace of Crystals being reversed too, it almost seems like you're shifting what it is that you wanted. Because the Ace of Crystals, any ace is like the planting of a seed. It's like a new intention, a new idea, a new opportunity, things like that. And I'm seeing it being reversed, and I'm almost getting this image of uprooting and pulling the seed back out and being like, wait a second, I don't want that. So there's something here that you're realizing that you no longer want anymore, that you no longer want to invest your time in, you no longer want to invest your energy in, and you're sort of pulling that seed back out and you're like, wait a second, I'm changing my mind here, and I'm realizing that maybe I want something slightly different. And this doesn't mean like a breakup. However, it might mean that for some of you, maybe you're pulling your energy out of somebody that you were dating because you're realizing that's not quite it. However, this could also be on the level of like, oh, I thought I wanted to be, somebody who was at my partner's beck and call. Maybe I thought I wanted to be that. And then I'm realizing, you know what? No, I want to kind of create my own life, my own success, and my own happiness, and yada, yada, yada. And then that would be pulling that old intention out and realizing, ooh, yeah, I don't want that. I want this other thing. And I'm just throwing these out as examples, but I really see you kind of realizing what it is that you truly want. And it might not be what you previously thought that you wanted. And there's going to be this shift here, which I think is going to be really beautiful for you. We also have 5 of Swords and then the 2 of Crystals. So a lot of crystal energy coming out. The crystals are the pentacles. So we have Ace of Pentacles and then the 2 of Pentacles. So there is a lot of energy here where you're creating like physical change. And I feel like it's coming through your actions. It's kind of like you're wanting to do things differently. You're not wanting to take the same actions that you used to. The 5 of Swords energy as well, I really see you sorting out a whole lot of like internal dialogue, internal thoughts, even expressing thoughts perhaps to a previous partner, or shutting things down with somebody that you no longer want to kind of continue the same patterns with. Having some sort of conversation around that. 5 of Swords would also be like if you're already in a marriage, things like that, and you obviously maybe want to stay in that marriage. The 5 of Swords would be having conversations where perhaps we're like, I want to change the dynamic of how we operate in this relationship. So it would be those types of conversations that are coming up within your love life here. And something else that I'm seeing, like I really do feel like most of you who chose this pile, you are single, or most of you. Some of you, you definitely may be in a committed relationship, and that's why I've been touching on both of those topics. But for most of you, I do feel like you are single, and this 5 of Swords almost makes me feel like the energy of, I no longer want to get taken advantage of. I no longer want to be a people pleaser. I no longer want to put up with things that drain me. And it's sort of like, I'm almost getting this energy of like frustration when I'm looking at this 5 of Swords energy. It's like this energy of frustration, like it's almost like putting your foot down about something that's been bothering you and annoying you. And this could also be if you're in a relationship too. Maybe there's something that was bothering you and annoying you. Maybe somebody who wasn't seeing and appreciating all of your efforts or all the things that you did. Maybe somebody who was sort of just kind of taking advantage of the energy. Like the Five of Swords energy is somebody who kind of takes advantage of somebody else. And maybe they're not doing it intentionally, because I would say most of the time people don't do those things intentionally. However, sometimes they do. It really just depends. You know, it's a general reading, so everyone's going to be slightly different here on that spectrum. But it seems like there was this frustrating energy because there was this feeling of being taken advantage of, or a feeling of not being seen and appreciated or respected in the ways that you wanted to be. Two of Crystals is balancing that out. It's like, you know what? I'm no longer going to create that dynamic. I need to speak up about it. I need to put my foot down. I need to raise my standards, and I need to make this known. I need to create these proper boundaries. Ace of Crystals also being reversed can be when we're letting go of our boundaries, or we haven't made it clear to the other person what it is that we expect, and we've kind of just been almost letting these things happen, hoping that one day that person will like see it and figure it out. But the thing is if we're not making it known, right? It's not very clear. The other person might not be very clear on it because they might not even be noticing, right? So also the Two of Crystals, this is balancing things out. Balancing out this next chapter in your love life through the realizations that you're having, through the new promises and commitments that you're making to yourself about what you are and are no longer willing to put up with, okay? And for those of you that are single right now, the next person that you're manifesting in your life is so wildly different than your previous relationships. So wildly different. And it's because of the work that you are doing to raise your standards, put up the boundaries, and doing that self-inner work. Like I'm really seeing you doing so much inner work to where you're just going to be so different. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what else we get for you here. My group one's all about the next chapter of your love life. So we also have differences coming out. So sorting out the differences. I think that you're realizing who you are, and maybe the dynamic that you used to have previously in your love life is just, it doesn't meet who you are and who you want to be. And it's been putting out your fire. Okay? We also have the card of Flirt. This is going to re-spark you back up, to put up these boundaries, to have these important conversations, to do this inner work where you are really raising your standards. Oh, it's going to light back up your spark in your love life. It is going to light back up that spark. And then let's see, what else do we have? We also have, okay, this card, whenever it comes up, indicates that either we or someone in our past has been really curious about us and what we're doing, or in your future, if you're, for example, leaving somebody behind that you're realizing, okay, I'm too different from this person to stay, this person's going to be really trying to get a hold of you still, okay? So if you're on the brink of like leaving somebody right now because you're realizing that you're on a different page, I'm really seeing this person getting very invested in you. If you are already in a relationship and all of that, I'm really seeing that your person has been really curious. They can sense that you're going through a change. They can sense that you're going through something different, and they're very curious about you. The spy doesn't have to be taken literally. It doesn't mean somebody's literally like spying on you or checking up on you or doing all that, but it can indicate this in a more metaphorical sense, that they're very curious about what's going on more internally, and they want to know more. For those of you that are completely single right now, there's somebody from your past that really wants to get back in touch with you. And you might already know that. You might already feel that. You might already know that. But there's definitely somebody here that is very curious. But let's go ahead and see what else we have for you. My group ones, the next chapter of your love life. So we have the card of separation. I am sort of feeling like a lot of you who chose this pile, you're single and wanting to separate from your past. You're wanting to separate from those old patterns. You might even be in a situationship, like a kind of situationship where you feel very single, but maybe you know that you need to kind of separate from the people that maybe you've been talking to because you're realizing that those are just like not the people for you. If you're in a relationship, separation can also just indicate that maybe we're really wanting some alone time to gather ourselves, to kind of do this more inner work. So it doesn't have to be taken as a literal like breakup. So for those of you that are, again, already in a committed relationship, separation is sort of just this energy of like, I need time on my own. I need time to like, focus on myself and focus on these changes that I'm really wanting to make. Then we also have past life relationship coming up. So something that I'm also seeing is like healing of your past. There's somebody from your past who's really trying to come back. And this person, if you're single right now, you might have somebody really trying to reach out to you from your past that wants to get back together. But I am also feeling that there's a lot of differences with this person, and this person doesn't hold your same values. And I'm really seeing you sort of realizing like, I want something better. I'm raising my standards. And it's sort of like you're no longer wanting to reinvigorate that spark from your past. For those of you that are already in a relationship, I would not be surprised if somebody from your past still thinks about you a lot. And honestly, depending on what type of person they are, they might even still try to reach out to you even when you're in a relationship, which is, no bueno. But there is somebody from your past who I'm really feeling like is coming through that you will hear from. But I am just getting this energy of like, they're not on the same wavelength as you, and they might come with a lot of promises, like saying like, oh, I'm going to make all these changes. I'm going to be the person that you really wanted me to be. But it's like, well, if you weren't before, like, I feel like the best way to handle things is to be with somebody who automatically is already, on your same level. And that's just who they are, rather than somebody trying to be someone they're not in order to be with you. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's the energy that's sort of coming through here. But I guess you'll have to navigate that on your own, because each person's individual journey is going to be like slightly different. There's going to be nuances in your own particular journey that you will have to navigate and figure out what is best for you along that path. But it definitely seems like you are raising your standards so much, and those standards really reflect like who you are, because you're no longer wanting to live out the same life where you're feeling drained and you're feeling not in alignment. So you're really taking back control over your universe. And then let's see what else we have. The universe card is when we're really taking back control over our life, rather than feeling like victim to our circumstances. It's sort of like stepping up the plate and saying, I'm not going to let these circumstances affect me anymore because I'm so done experiencing them, right? So it's you taking back control over your life. Sacred destruction, there is something that you are like tearing down, and you're like, no more am I going to be this way. No more am I going to continue doing these same things. There's a sacred destruction here. There is something that you are saying, absolutely no more to this. For some of you, this could be blocking somebody too that has been maybe bothering you or taking your time or whatever, cutting people out of your life that have been draining you. Okay? This could be a huge thing. Like, I really feel, for a lot of you, there's been ties to somebody from your past who is just no longer somebody that you want in your life. So sacred destruction, it's sort of like time to block that, time to separate from that energy, time to move on, because it's sort of realizing that that's just not what's meant for you. So that is what we have here, my group number ones. And now I'm very curious what's going to be happening here on after, which actually we've been touching on. So from here on after, the dynamic of your love life as you're making these changes, the dynamic of your love life is going to improve radically. The things that you attract, the experiences that you create from here on out are going to be on par with your new values. They're going to be on par with your new boundaries that you're creating. And the moon being there too, it's like there is so much emotional maturity and emotional growth that is happening for you right now, where you're going to be on a whole other level, and your love life is going to be on a whole other level because of these changes that you're making. And I feel like you've been feeling this for a while, like you've been internally growing and becoming somebody different on the inside for a long time now, and it's going to start reflecting externally. Ace of Crystals. There's a lot of things that have been going on internally. So when the Ace of Crystals is reversed, it can also talk about our internal changes that we've been promising ourselves and that we've been working on, because the Pentacles is like things that we're physically doing, physical changes. But when it's reversed, can also talk about those internal physical changes that we're going through, such as our values are different, our personality is different, the way that we view life is different. The way that we view our love life, right, in particular, is different. So it's like you're doing all these internal changes, and really in this next chapter is you implementing these internal changes. And because of that, again, the dynamic is just going to be so different. And yeah, like so many changes happen here on after. So things are improving way for the better. The next chapter for you is going to be unlocking and opening things that are on par with those changes that you have been making. So thank you so much for joining me here for today's video, my group number ones. That is about this next chapter of your love life. And I'm really seeing a special connection here. The Two of Cups coming out, and I was feeling it even through our astrodice. There is a special connection brewing. So for those of you that are single, I'm really seeing you meeting somebody who is so on par with your new standards and your new values. For those of you that are already in a very committed relationship and you don't see that relationship breaking apart at all, what I'm seeing here is the new standards that you're bringing to the relationship, the conversations that you're going to be having with your partner are going to really help both of you grow so much, to understand each other so much more, to create more balance in your relationship, to cut away old things that were no longer working, that were no longer like just dynamics of like things that were kind of like putting out the fire. Instead, the fire is going to be lit up between you two because of these new changes, the new conversations, and all of that. So that's the whole wrap up of everything. That's the little recap of everything that is going to be happening for you in your love life. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love. And if you're interested in any crystal jewelry or anything like that, again, I will have a Luna Gem link down below where you can check out gorgeous crystal bracelets and things like that. Also, my phone is making noises right now. I so apologize. That is supposed to be on silent. But yeah, sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number twos, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about the next chapter of your love life. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, to start off your reading, we're going to go into our astro dice. So let's see, my group twos, what is happening in your love life? So we have the sun in Capricorn in the second house. So the second house deals with our material world. The sun is like our internal soul, where we shine, where we radiate, where we have confidence. It's also the energy of like, can even be like rebirth or just being radiant. So being in the sign of Capricorn in the second house, there is this feeling of confidence that is going to be exuding from you in this next chapter, where I feel like you're going to be feeling your best physically and perhaps getting a lot of compliments, maybe even a lot of people like, you know, talking about like, wow, look at how gorgeous you look today. Look at how radiant you are, etc., etc. Perhaps you've been doing certain things to feel your best or to kind of like even stand out a little bit more, maybe like improvement in all those areas of your life. Maybe you're just wanting to feel your best. And what I'm really seeing is like, that's going to be noticed externally. That is going to be very, very noticed by other people. If you're in a relationship, I see that your partner is going to be very attracted to you and noticing all of those changes that you've been making. If you're single, I see you turning a lot of heads, a lot of people being like, ooh, look at that. Like, who is that over there? So that's going to be happening in this next chapter for you. So that it just seems like there's more confidence exuding from you. And it's really coming from a place, maybe you've been really working more on self-love, self-appreciation. Maybe you've been really inspired to make even some changes when it comes to like just making yourself more radiant and more, you know, feeling yourself more, doing a glow up, things like that. So Capricorn is this energy of improvement. It's also this energy of commitment, climbing the ladder, getting to a higher level. The second house is, of course, all of your physical attributes, your physical world. And then the sun is that radiant confidence. So that is what we have coming out here. But let's go ahead and dive even deeper into more about your love life in this next chapter of it. Let's see, your love life in the next chapter. Three of Swords being reversed. Okay, so some of you, Spirit wants to point out, perhaps you're doing some healing. You've just gone through some healing. And maybe that's where all of this like improvement is coming from, because of like you've had to heal an aspect of yourself. And maybe that's motivated you to be like, I'm going to become a greater version of myself now. I'm going to really level things up. And if you are sad about something right now in your love life, like if there was something that was disappointing, this next chapter for you, oh my God, that's not going to bother you one tiny little bit anymore. It's not going to bother you at all. Instead, I feel like you're going to be so wrapped up in your own love for yourself where it's like, you know what? I actually feel so good. I feel so freaking good about who I am that this doesn't even bother me anymore. Whatever happened in the past literally doesn't even faze me. Okay, the Three of Swords being reversed is such a beautiful position for that card because it's so healing. And anywhere where you used to feel wounded, you're no longer going to feel wounded anymore. And I also feel like this is on a personal, internal aspect as well. So even if you didn't recently go through a breakup or anything like that, if you've been struggling with self-worth issues or being overly critical of yourself and your appearance and who you are, the things you say, the things you do, if you've been overly critical of yourself, this is also something that is massively healing in this next chapter of your love life, because I think that you're realizing, I really want to love myself. I really want to feel confident and good and radiant. I want to love who I am. This next chapter for you, you're putting in the work to love who you are. And I'm almost seeing this like investment into yourself, because also Sun Capricorn in the second house deals with investments as well. And I see you investing in yourself. I'm almost seeing you going out and like buying things that reflect this new energy of who you are, because I'm almost feeling like there's a new energy of you that wants to be birthed and wants to be seen and wants to radiate out, right? Because the sun is the spotlight. It's where we want to radiate. It's where we want to be seen. How do you want to be seen, right? I feel like you are shifting into becoming more confident and being like, you know what? I'm going to dress the way I want to. I'm going to do my makeup in a new way. I'm going to invest in myself to make myself feel more like beautiful, feel more like, you know, whatever the case may be. But you're doing things that are going to really help you fall in love with yourself on a deeper level. Not that the only way to fall in love with yourself is like physical things, but it's just showing up in a physical way with all these, with our astro dice showing all those physical astrology aspects. But we also have 5 of Wands being reversed here. Self-criticism is going out. I also see that in the past, you've been put down by somebody before and it really took a toll on your confidence. This could have been like a family member. This could have been somebody that you dated before, you know, especially since we're talking about your love life. This could have definitely been somebody that you dated before, and it almost like really took a toll on you, maybe deeper than you noticed before. That's healing in this next chapter. Oh my goodness. You're going to start seeing yourself in a whole new way. And that is no longer going to have a hold on you or have an effect on you. Even your own internal thoughts that have maybe been negative about yourself, that is also healing in this next chapter. So all of that sort of internal conflict that used to surround you is going out. We also have 3 of Cups. Oh, so this is really beautiful. So this actually talks about really positive friendships and being surrounded by really uplifting people. So the next chapter of your love life here, I honestly see you creating the deepest connections than you've ever had before. I actually see a new friend coming into your life. This could be somebody who you recently connected with, or it could even be somebody that you've known, but that connection is just getting so much deeper. For the most part, I do feel like this is a new connection for most of you, though. This is a new person coming into your life that I think you're going to have so much fun with this person. Like, I am getting that this is more of a friendship energy, like a best friend that's coming into your life. But the love that you two are going to have for each other is like otherworldly. And both of you would just have like this same wavelength of energy. This is a very uplifting person too, who's going to make you feel so good. And it's going to be so healing to be around each other. It's like this person's really inspiring, but they also see you as very inspiring as well. So it's like this beautiful energy dynamic between you both. And then we also have the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords, there's so many things going on internally for you that are healing in this next chapter. If you have felt like it has been hard to get sleep lately, or your mind tends to wander before you go to bed, or even in the middle of the night you wake up and all of a sudden your brain is just like going a million miles a minute thinking about the past, thinking about different things that have happened, criticizing yourself even. Like, if that tends to happen for you, this is something that I really feel like with this new friendship and the new sort of conversations that you're going to be having are going to help heal that aspect, that experience, and that's going to start to go away for you. I'm also hearing that if any of you have been struggling with loneliness, that is also going to be healed, especially through this friendship. That's one of the most significant things that's coming up here. I'm also seeing you having fun. Like, something that Spirit wants to say is if you feel lonely right now, this next chapter is actually going to be so different to where you're no longer going to feel lonely. And in fact, you're actually going to be having the time of your life. And eventually in your future, you're going to be looking back on this time being like, damn, that was one of my best chapters of my life. Because the way that it's going to shift you, the changes that you are going to be going through, the healing that you are going to have, the new way in which you are going to see yourself, and the connection that you're going to have with this person is so healing. We also have 5 of Pentacles being reversed. So we have all of these healing cards coming up for you. My group 2s, it is wild how many healing cards we have coming up. The fact that we also have double fives, fives always signify major change in our lives. So there's major changes and shifts that are coming up into your life right now. Five of Pentacles being reversed is also when we no longer feel so alone. We no longer are feeling like negative about our past. We're no longer feeling negative about our situation, and instead we're actually feeling really thankful for our past because of where it has led you. So yeah, wow, the amount of healing that's coming through is very beautiful here. And truly, I see you having the time of your life. And I'm also seeing like travel with this person, like traveling, doing fun things, having experiences that you're like, is this really my life right now? Did this really lead me here? And it's almost like you are getting liberated to really be yourself, because it almost feels like in the past, you maybe didn't even know who you were, or you almost lost who you were because of previous experiences in your love life. And this next chapter is you really finding who you are and being like, oh wait, this is what I enjoy. This is what I find fun. And it's going to be so healing in your love life, because I think you're going to look at relationships very differently after all of this, because no longer are you going to think like, oh, I have to repress who I am to be in a relationship. It's like, well, no, I'm no longer ever going to do that. Either somebody is going to love me for me and for exactly who I am, and I don't want to change that. And this is going to really help you heal all of that and really step into your power, to step into your true, real identity. This is you investing in yourself in this next chapter, and it's going to help you so much. I also want to speak for those of you who might have chosen this pile who are already in a relationship, because I'm getting the feeling like 90% of you who chose this, you are either just getting out of a relationship or you are single right now, for like 90% of you. Maybe there's a small percentage of you, like 10% of you, who are in a relationship who also chose this pile. What I'm really seeing for you is this energy of really wanting to be yourself, and this feeling of like, I need to change the dynamic of how I show up in my relationships because I've been repressing who I really am and what I really want. And I see you focusing more on yourself. And I really see like this being a period of discovering who you are, doing things a little bit more unapologetically, because it's kind of like what your soul's really urging you towards right now is this finding your individuality energy, and this energy of self-discovery, this energy of healing and liberating your true desires, liberating who you really are. That is this next chapter for you. So let's see what else we get, my group twos. So we also have the caution energy. I feel like this is your heart has been wrapped up in this like caution energy, this caution tape, where it's almost like we're taped off a little bit. So one other message that I'm getting for you in this next chapter is I do feel like you are going to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to opening your heart to somebody. I also feel like in this next chapter, it almost seems like you're not avidly looking either. It's sort of like you're really focused on yourself and really focused on like, let me enjoy my life for a moment. Because it's almost like we felt like we couldn't enjoy our lives or your life when you were in a relationship in the past, because it felt like you couldn't be you. It almost felt like you were stuck. It almost felt like you were being put into a box that it didn't allow you to expand and be you. You are such an expansive soul, and I'm really seeing like this next chapter, I'm almost just seeing your soul being like, I just want to break free and freaking expand into me, because it almost seems like the other people that you've been surrounded by in your past have tried to put you in a box, and you allowed yourself, you said, okay, like I will repress my true self to maybe be what this person wants me to be, something like that. And yeah, it's like you're no longer wanting to do that. And I do feel like in this next chapter, it does seem like your heart is a little bit protected. It's like you're in protection mode, but I think that's okay because you are going through this healing. So it's sort of like this cautionary, it's like, I'm healing right now, So I'm not really ready to open up. So I am getting that sort of energy here as well. And again, for those of you in a relationship, I do feel like there's going to be this energy of like, give me some space, give me some time, because I need to really figure me out. Although I do really feel like most of you who chose this pile, you are single. I feel like for most of you who chose this, that is the energy that I'm getting here. But let's see what else we get for you. My group twos. So we also have the card of regret coming through. And there's one thing that I'm really feeling from this. And that is this energy of like not liking how your past has gone. And I don't like using the word regret, because I don't feel like we should regret any of our past decisions or our past experiences, because they all led us to the learning that we have now. It all led us to the transformation that is going to happen in our future, right? But there could be something that you're still closed off about, because you're kind of like, I don't want to regret my future. I don't want to regret something, you know, like you're not wanting to regret your decision. So it's almost like there's this cautionary, like I'm holding myself back a little bit because I don't want to make a choice that I regret. However, I really feel like there's also this energy that's like, I need to break free though. I need to break free. And let me tell you, if you put yourself first, you will never regret it. If you put your wants, needs, and desires in your soul first, you'll never regret that. The things that we tend to regret is when we repress our soul, when we repress who we are. Those are the things we end up regretting, because we never feel truly ourselves. We never feel like we're fulfilled because we're repressing our true soul's essence and our true soul's desires. So one thing I have to say is like, you will never regret putting yourself first. It might be hard, right? It might be hard, but you will find fulfillment in that direction. That is the way to find fulfillment, right? So let's see what else we get here for you. Let's see. My group twos, we also have healing family issues coming up. So this could also stem back from like childhood, like who we felt we needed to be as a child. Maybe we felt like we couldn't be ourselves even from when we were a kid. And perhaps now we actually are entering this time of our life where we're like, you know what? I really need to be me, no matter what anybody else thinks. That is the biggest thing that's coming up for you, is this energy of I need to be me no matter what anybody else thinks or says. Because I feel like you have not given yourself that. And that's been a big thing for you that you've been holding back. We also have the card of separation. Separating yourself from perhaps other people. Maybe you're also feeling like you need time away from people in your life that have kept you maybe stuck or made you feel stuck, right? And I just see you separating from that, separating from all the areas of your life where you felt repressed. Taking time apart to find yourself. This is really the energy that I'm getting, is this energy of like, I need time away to find myself. So let's see what else we get here. We also have the warrior coming through. So your warrior side is absolutely getting ignited and coming out. We also have movement. I'm getting this energy of travel for you. I don't know why. And I know that this is a love life reading, but for some reason, this energy of like, I want to travel the world. I want to find myself. That energy is like really coming through for some reason. It's almost like this, like, I'm going to let myself be free, this freedom energy, right? And maybe you're just wanting to explore more. The warrior energy is coming out of this energy of I'm going to stand up for myself. And even though it's hard, even though it's scary to do that, your inner warrior is coming out. That's like, you know what? I stand for freedom and I'm going to go towards it. Movement, yeah, like expanding yourself, moving past old blocks, moving past old barriers. Also, again, freedom, individuality, independence, and travel is coming through within that card as well. So that could also be something that you've been thinking about, something that you've been feeling on the inside. So if this is all stuff that you have been already feeling, my loves, my group number 2s, that's what we got for you. There's a whole new path opening up for you. And it's interesting that we had the second house coming through for you, and you're also group number 2, because 2s are all about taking on a new path, going on a new path. So there's absolutely a new path that is opening up for you. And I feel like getting one last card to wrap up this reading for you. And let's see what we get here. So we also have strength, and it also knocked this astro dice, and we have Uranus. Okay, so I feel like this is also a sign because Uranus wanted to make an appearance here. Uranus is the planet of radical change, shifts, innovations, and inventions. You are going to be innovating your life so much, and your life is going to be so radically different. And I'm really feeling like over the next 2 years, your life is going to be so different. I'm also getting the message that 2 years is how long this phase kind of lasts for you. Again, it is a general reading, so those timelines can be slightly different per person that's watching this. So for some of you, it could be a year that this is all taking place in. I'm really getting the average is 2 years though. For those of you that are watching this, like this phase of like healing, traveling, finding your independence, really just like enjoying your life it's like a 2-year phase of kind of exploring yourself, finding yourself, realizing who you really are. And then this strength card coming through as well. It's like, yeah, you're going to gain so much strength by doing this, by confronting those old fears, those old blocks, allowing your inner warrior to come out and just having the strength to say, you know what? I am doing this. I am finding myself. I am going to explore me, and I'm going to be myself no matter whose toes I step on, da 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 da. And you know, we can be ourselves in a respectful way, but it is important to honor who you really are. And if there's people that fall out of your life because of that, they weren't meant to stay anyway. Because when you're authentic, when you're being you, that's when you realize who truly loves you for you, who truly resonates with you, and who doesn't. And why would you want people in your life who don't understand you and who you cannot be yourself with anyway, right? So sometimes that shedding process takes place when we allow ourselves to, you know, be authentic, be ourselves. But at the same time, that's also when we make our truest, deepest friendships, which is probably why you have this person coming into your life, is because you're making these changes to really be you, which is going to allow you to connect with someone who's on that same vibe, who's on that same wavelength. And it's going to be so transformative and so healing and so, like, this is going to be one of your funnest times of your life, is these next 2 years. So, my loves, group number 2, that is what we have for you, all about the next chapter of your love life and all of that. So, I'm sending you all so much love to this new journey because it actually sounds like so much fun, and the energy that I actually pick up on in this reading is so freeing and so fun that it's like, it lights me up just being able to tap into the energy of what's coming in for you. So I'm so excited for you, and I hope you're excited too. So yeah, that's what we have here. And I just know it's gonna be such a good time for you because the energy, again, that I'm tapping into right now is so much fun. It's so radiant. It's like literally your soul is able to expand and be in the spotlight, and it's just so good. Anyway, so excited for you. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. Also, be sure to check out Luna Gem if you are interested in any crystal jewelry or crystals or anything like that. The link will be down below, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be all about the next chapter of your love life. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my love, let's go ahead and start with the Astro dice to see some information about this next chapter of your love life. Ooh, okay. We have Venus in Scorpio in the 7th house. Oh my goodness. Okay. First off, Venus in Scorpio in the 7th house. This is really exciting because the 7th house is the house of marriage. It is the house of intimate, deep partnerships and relationships. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and money. Scorpio is the zodiac sign that is deep. It goes real deep, and it is transformative as well. So something that I'm getting for you right off the bat here is that there is going to be a lot more depth happening in this next chapter of your love life. So much more depth. In fact, it's going to feel like your love life is ascending to the next level where there is so much more commitment. In fact, if you're not married already, Venus being in the 7th house, I am definitely seeing some like deeper commitments here. If you're single, okay, let's just first start off at the at the basics. If you're single, you're going to have a very significant, long-term, very promising, very committed relationship coming into your life next. This is somebody that is marriage material, okay? So there's that. If you're already seeing somebody, I see this relationship going to the next level, whether that be going steady, moving in together, getting engaged, or getting married, okay? So that is what we have right off the bat. Very exciting things. The Astrodice, they came through. They had a lot to say and speak upon there. So yes, definite major significant commitments happening in your love life, and a very significant up level in it as well. So let's see what else we get for you. Let's add on some tarot cards to get some more information. So my group number 3s, what else is happening for my group 3's love life in this next chapter? Okay, tons of cards. Also, whenever the cards knock the Astrodice out of the way, I always get this feeling like they have multiple things to say. So we also have the 11th house showing up. So we had the 7th house, now we have the 11th house as well. So the 11th house is the house of communication, networking. It's also the house of expansion, travel, meeting new people, things like that. If you're single, I wouldn't be surprised if you meet somebody in a really unexpected way. It can also deal with social media, so I just want to point that out. So if you have been maybe thinking about going on a dating app or things like that, that could be, for example, where you meet somebody. This could also be networking through friends, or friends might be significant in helping sort of plan this next thing for you, or it could just be something that comes up in a really cool conversation with your partner. So if you're already seeing somebody, perhaps there's going to be some little hints that they're dropping about what's to come and what they're thinking about, what they're planning. Perhaps this is even you wanting to drop hints to your partner as well. And then we also have the Magician that came through here. The Magician is one of my favorite cards in all of the tarot because it is the card of manifestation. It's the card of the magic is working. The things that you've been intending for, the things that you've been wishing and hoping for in your love life are manifesting. The magic is all coming to this accumulation point where you're going to start to see the results of that. So that's really exciting. We also have the 9 of Pentacles being reversed. So this could be something that you've been waiting for a while. This could have been something that you've been wishing for, hoping for quite some time, and maybe didn't see the results of it. And now it's finally coming out. It's finally coming to its fruition here. We also have the 7 of Pentacles upright. So yeah, absolutely. This confirms what I was feeling with our 9 of Pentacles that was reversed here. So it's all about that energy of where we felt like we had to wait for something, but now it's coming to its full bloom. So in the areas where you felt like you were lacking in your love life are now going to start blossoming and really starting to fill up. And you're going to be enjoying the fruits of your labor. I'm also feeling like this cat is really significant. Things that you used to have fears about in your life are all of a sudden not even going to be relevant anymore. not even relevant. The fruits of your labor are sprouting and you're going to be living in this energy. I also see this as a planning card as well. Planning something. So there is something happening in your love life where there's like a new commitment coming in, or a deeper level of commitment, but it will require some planning and setting the stage for something. So this could be, again, planning a wedding, planning an engagement party, planning where you're going to live with somebody, and, you know, planning how that's going to work out and how that's going to go. If somebody's asking you to go steady and, you know, be together officially, this could be planning something around that, like planning like announcing it, or planning together like more dates, more things like that. So there's like this planning energy that's coming through as well. We also have Six of Pentacles being reversed. This is wild how many pentacles are coming up for you. So there's a lot of physical things that are going to be taking place within this next chapter of your love life. Physical action that is being taken, physical shifts that are going to affect your physical world, your physical reality. And of course, we know marriage affects us on a physical level massively, because all of a sudden we're like really, you know, committed, and we have to do a lot of like physical planning to do a wedding and things like that. So there's a lot of physical changes with how your love life is ascending to the next level. It's going to cause a little bit of like, or not even a little bit, it's going to cause a lot of physical changes in your daily action, your daily schedule, your daily routine. Six of Pentacles being reversed over here. This is a card where it talks about things being lopsided. And perhaps I'm getting this feeling like in your past, maybe you have felt like previously things have been out of balance, where either we were putting in too much before in our previous experiences, or somewhere in our past we were the ones giving too much, or maybe we weren't the ones that were taking enough action and giving enough to our partner. Either way, there has been some sort of imbalance in the past where it seems like in this next chapter there's this real desire to create balance and to make sure that things are balanced, to have reassurance. Also, sorry, all of a sudden the gardeners came. There's a weed whacker. I might pause this and come back to this just because I don't want that to interrupt. So I might be right back. Okay, we are back. So another aspect that I'm getting from this, also sorry, the leaf blower is like still going on, but they're like in the backyard now, so it's like a bit quieter. But the Six of Pentacles here being reversed, and also with the Nine of Pentacles being reversed, I feel like there's going to be conversations in this next chapter for you regarding like, you know, the logistics of this next phase that you're going into with your person. So for example, if you are single and like, let's say that this next chapter for you is about meeting somebody, I feel like you're going to be figuring out logistics with them about, you know, how much time are we spending together? How many dates do you like to go on per week? How much time like do you want to invest in this? Where's your head at when it comes to your level of commitment? So there's going to be conversations around all of those things. And, you know, if you're getting engaged, getting married, moving in together, there's going to be conversations around the logistics of that, such as like, okay, how are we splitting the cost of living together? How are we going to be handling like finances? How are we going to be handling how much time we spend together, et cetera, et cetera. So the Pentacles always talk about the physical reality of things and the physical stuff that's going on around you. And the fact that we do have the Six of Pentacles being reversed makes me feel like there's going to be conversations around the logistics of this next chapter with your person. And I do see that those are going to be turning out quite well, especially with Seven of Pentacles. I feel like both of you are like really invested in the relationship. Seven of Pentacles is like a very investing type of energy. We're very invested into it. And the Magician as well. I really feel like both of you are going to sort this out really well. But I do feel like this next chapter is also indicating that there will be conversations around all of those things. We also have the Eight of Swords coming up. So this makes me feel like, yeah, you might not even foresee some of these things coming up, but they are coming up, and it's a good thing because these are such important conversations to have to kind of like sort things out. But I do feel like they're going to come up like as you enter this next chapter. Like, for example, if you're moving in together for the first time, maybe we didn't realize that we were supposed to have those conversations, but then they come up, you know, at random, and we're like, oh, right. So how are we going to be like navigating this? How are we going to sort out the more logistic side of things and all of that? But Eight of Swords as well is like taking off the mask and like opening up. That's the other side of the Eight of Swords is, you know, for one, it's things that happen that we didn't expect. And so I really feel like for this, it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to overlook that. That's going to be an important conversation to have. So those things are going to be coming up, but it's coming up for your benefit to be able to then see much more clearly how everything's fitting together, which is going to be a very big positive side of things at the end of the day. We also have Two of Wands being reversed here. The Two of Wands is when we're planning something. So there is going to be unexpected things coming up along the planning stage. So I just want you to be prepared for that. So this is coming up for your highest good for you to know this, is that there's going to be unexpected things that maybe we didn't look at. And this always happens, like, for example, if you're wedding planning, oh my God, there's always so much more that goes into it than we even realize. For example, me and my husband eloped this year, and oh my gosh, even with eloping, there was so much more that went into the planning of it than I even realized. So for example, if you're moving in together, if you're getting engaged, if you're getting married, whatever the case may be, there's actually more that's going to go into the planning stage than I think that you have realized off the bat. Even if you're just getting into a new relationship, let's say you're single right now, and this is all indicating that new relationship that's coming into your life. Maybe there's going to be certain things where we're like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to need to have conversations around, you know, how much time we spend together and et cetera, and what our boundaries are and things like that. So there will be certain things that do come up, and Spirit is saying that it's really important to open up and talk about them, okay? To not shut down and to just, you know, turn a blind eye and be like, oh, that'll sort itself out. Spirit is really coming through saying it's going to be very important to have these conversations. So Eight of Swords is don't just walk in blindly thinking like, oh, it'll figure itself out. Have the important conversations, because it will help so much in turning things around and making it just so much more clear and so much more easy to navigate, especially just like doing it right in the beginning. So Spirit's coming through with that advice. King of Swords being reversed is also relaying that message of communication is going to be really important in this next chapter for you. So communicating about everything. And I just want to say, I see that there is so much goodness in this next chapter of your love life, but communication is going to be so important, and communicating compassionately and openly. And, you know, communicating about all the things, but doing so in a compassionate way is going to be so beneficial in helping this transpire in the best way possible, having those tough conversations. We also have the World being reversed here as well. So this is when we're about to close out an old chapter, okay? Which, the World being reversed is like tying up loose ends. So for example, if we're single and we're getting into a relationship, maybe this is a time where we're going to have those important conversations around like, okay, well that means I really have to maybe, you know, create some boundaries in my life with, you know, getting rid of my single activities a little bit, you know, being a little bit more committed, settling down a little bit more, seeing where those boundaries are. Or if this is something like moving in together, this could be like, oh, I'm going to have to like, you know, share my world a little bit and maybe compromise on decor style, maybe like, you know, things like that. So it's those important conversations. So those important conversations are coming up because there's a higher level of commitment that's coming up in your love life, okay? We also have the Emperor coming out, which I love that this card is coming out for you. This is when we're feeling really on top and we're feeling like we have achieved something that we have set out to achieve. And maybe it's been a long-term or a long time desire of ours to achieve it. Okay? Because Six of Pentacles being reversed too, like maybe there's been something that we've been really wanting. Nine of Pentacles being reversed. Maybe there's an outcome that we've been really wanting, we've been waiting for so long, and it's finally coming to fruition. It's finally happening, and we're feeling on top of the world. Okay? But in order to keep that on top of the world feeling, it is going to be so important to have these conversations. So Spirit is really emphasizing that in this reading, to have those important conversations. And maybe you're already doing that. And if so, kudos to you, because everything's going to be turning out just right in that way. We also have the Three of Swords. So one thing that I'm also hearing is like compromising on certain things, and like also letting go of the past is coming up. Letting go of the past. And if either of you have been hurt in the past, which most of us have at some point in our lives, it's so important to not bring that into the future or project it into the future and things like that. So that's another message that's coming up here as well. Three of Swords is also like, perhaps we're going to have to compromise on certain things together in order to make both of us happy. Whenever two people come together, there's always things to compromise on. However, most of the time we're like super happy to do it because it's like, oh my God, I get to have my person. So of course, like I'm so willing to compromise on our home decor style, or how many people we end up inviting to our wedding, or what kind of wedding we have, where it's going to end up being, or where we're going to live together, etc., etc., etc. Sometimes we have to compromise on certain things, right? And so that's just sort of coming up here. And yeah, but overall, really good things are coming in, really good things. And I'm almost feeling like even right now, you might be feeling some of these conversations that maybe we need to open up about. You might even be feeling some of those things right now, especially if you're already with your person and all of that. So you might even be feeling a couple of these conversations that need to happen. But let's see more about your love life in this next chapter, my group threes. Okay, let's see. We also have memories coming up. So one beautiful thing is I think that this next chapter is going to be some of your biggest highlights of your life. Kind of like a highlight reel, you know, and it's going to be part of your highlight reel of this year that's happening. Okay, so these memories are going to be very cherished by you. I think you're going to be so like just excited and happy about all the things that are going on. We also have the card of healing coming up. So there is lots of healing happening as well. So any sort of disappointments that you've had, any sort of like hardships, challenges that you've been through, those things are also going to be healing between you and your person and in your love life in general. Healing the past. Healing old fears that you used to have. Healing old concerns, things like that. We also have the card of friendship coming up, and we also have the card of spy. So because there's so many major things happening in your life over this next little while, there's going to be maybe people from your past that are very curious about you, that are going to be really looking up your social media posts if you're on social media, or they're going to be asking other people about you, and they're going to be thinking like, okay, like how are they doing? What's going on in their life? Like, there's such big things happening. You might even have people from your past, this can even be friends from your past that maybe you haven't talked to in so long, that are going to be messaging you and being like, oh my God, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, etc., things like that. I just feel like you're going to be receiving messages, calls from a lot of people. They just want to know it all. So you might have a lot of people reaching out to you and looking at what you're doing, because anytime that somebody goes through something major, sometimes there's people that come up from the past that will show up, that will be like, oh my God, hi, been so long, so happy for you, etc. This could also be why we have the Three of Swords coming up as well. And yeah, this could also be like part of people from the past. But it's going to be healing. Like I feel like they're going to be really happy for you. I feel like these people from the past are actually extremely happy for you. So Let's see what else we get here. My group 3s. So we also have the card of deception. And this one came up in the reverse position, which I actually feel like is very significant. So I feel like there's forgiveness around something from your past and healing around something from your past. Like maybe you've been deceived before in previous relationships. Maybe there's something that we still need to forgive from our past. And I really feel like that's going to be happening. Okay? I really feel like there's going to be some big healing around the past. Somebody might even come through and give a really big apology to you. That's something I'm feeling really big here. Like this is connected to this like old past healing energy. And another thing that I'm feeling as well is like you've learned from your past and you're no longer wanting to like wear a mask in any relationship moving forward. So the fact that this is talking about wearing a mask, I feel like something that you really feel is like, I want to be authentic. I want to be loved for me. I want to just be open and honest always. And I want to start off this relationship on the right foot, et cetera, et cetera. And I feel like that's going to be something that is very beneficial and healing as well. So we had a lot coming up about that in regards to communication. And I feel like you've learned so much. And also it's going to really help you like release your past. Like everything that's happening here is going to really help heal and release the past. And I also feel like some of you have an ex that still really wants to be with you, but then seeing you going into this like higher level of commitment, finding your person and really moving things to the next level is going to help your ex move on, actually. It's going to be really healing for the people in your past too, to see that like, oh, you're moving on. And I feel like that's going to be really beneficial in releasing your past, allowing other people to move on, and all of that. And let's see, what else do we get here for you? Any last cards? We have higher perspective. Let's maybe get one more here. My group 3s. We have higher perspective. We also have strength and movement coming up. So things are definitely going to be moving forward a lot in your love life, moving forward fast. I feel like you're stronger than ever, right? And it's healing all of those like old points for you that have felt like touchy triggers. It's healing all of that. I see you moving on so deeply, moving on in your life, and it's because of like all the things that you're now looking forward to, the new depth that's happening in your love life, things that are going deeper, there's higher level of commitments, and it's like you really found your person in this next chapter. Okay, moving on to that higher perspective, finding so much strength in this new chapter, and moving onwards and upwards. Okay, so that is what we have for you, my beautiful group number 3s, all about this next chapter of your love life. It really looks like things are taking off, and it's also helping a lot of stuff from the past heal and shed away. It's also helping, I feel like you've just learned so much about how you just want to be loved authentically. And as you build this relationship on that authentic foundation, that is going to help you so much, like just have a completely different experience in your love life, which I feel like is so positive for you. So that is what we have for you, manifesting a whole lot of goodness. There's a lot of communication that's going to be happening, a lot of figuring out the logistics, but it's all because of this really exciting higher level of commitment and new chapter that is happening. You're going to have a lot of people congratulating you, a lot of people reaching out from your past, but it's also going to be so healing to have that and to be able to close the old doors completely and just feel like this fresh slate to fully move on. And yeah, it's going to be totally beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me here. I'm sending you all so much love. If you are interested in any crystal jewelry, I will also have Luna Gem, my jewelry company, linked down below if you want to check that out. And I'm sending you all so much love. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so starting with our Astro Dice, let's see the next chapter of your love life. So we have Jupiter in Scorpio in the second house. Wow, I feel like Scorpio is coming up for a lot of people in their love lives. This is wild. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is the planet of good fortune, good luck, and also the planet of travel and all of that. Being in Scorpio, this is the planet of depth and going deep in your love life. The second house deals with our physical world, so all the things that we own, all the things that we have. It can also talk about like your outer appearance and things. So Jupiter being here, the planet of good luck and good fortune, I feel like for you, there's going to be a transformation in the physical areas of your love life that is going to help you expand to feel like you are surrounded by more romance, more beauty, more depth of emotion, more physical showings of love, okay? So physical expressions of love. If you're already in a relationship, I would take this as your partner doing more physical acts of love, such as like buying gifts or doing more like actual surprises or like things that are just going to make you feel more romanced and more depth in your love life. If you are single, I'm seeing that for you, there is going to be more romanticizing your life and also your love life. I'm also seeing this as going out on more dates, like actual dates, instead of just communication, instead of just talking. This is like going out on dates. Physical things are happening. There's physical plans being made, physical action being taken. Okay. So that is our Astro Dice, and let's dive into our tarot cards to get some more information on this next chapter. The Unknown card. Okay, so this is wild. So there's going to be some surprises coming up. There is going to be some surprises in your love life. Okay, so I feel like these surprises are going to be along the lines of somebody doing a physical surprise for you. Somebody might be, for one, planning something for you. This could be planning like a special surprise birthday. This could be planning a special date that you don't know about. This could be planning an engagement for some of you. But there is definitely a surprise coming in your love life. If you are single right now and you're like, there's nobody planning a surprise for me, that doesn't even make any sense. If you're on that side of the spectrum, there is going to be some things that you do not even foresee right now that are going to be happening that brings a lot of good luck into your love life. This is things that are like, wow, I didn't even expect that to happen. I didn't see that coming, and that sort of energy. Also, I was shuffling these cards off camera, and this card just fell out onto my lap, the King of Swords. So this could be talking about the person involved in this, or it could be talking about events. So I'm going to touch on both those topics. The King of Swords is most likely an air sign man or woman even, but this would be likely a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius person. So if you are currently in a relationship with a person like that, then this would be very much highlighting them and the fact that they are secretly planning some kind of surprise for you. They could even just be thinking about things that they're not telling you right now because it's a surprise and maybe it's just in the back of their mind. If this is not representing a person and it's more representing events that are coming up, this is more communication, more depth, getting to know somebody better, or even meeting somebody online or within social media or through networking, and then starting to communicate with them and being really interested in them and having a very strong mental communicative connection to this person. Let's see what else we get for you. My group fours. We also have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is when we are kind of waiting around for something. If you feel like you're currently waiting around for something to happen in your love life, get ready, because there's going to be some surprises happening very soon for you that are going to be coming in. And yeah, wow. Okay. I love how this is unfolding. Like, these are all talking about like you being the person that's kind of waiting around, or you could even be on the other side of the spectrum where you're planning a big surprise for your partner. So it could also be taken in that way as well, if you resonate with that and if you feel like, oh, I have been planning something in secret, then that would be, flip-flopped there. But for the most part, I feel like for those of you that chose this group, maybe you haven't been planning anything, and maybe you're just kind of waiting around for something to transpire in your love life, just enjoying where it's at right now. Maybe you're really hoping for something to happen, because the Seven of Pentacles can also touch on this energy of hope. And the fact that we have all of these coming up, there's a lot of good fortune coming in for you, and it's going to be really exciting. It's going to help deepen your love life. It's going to help bring in more romance, more excitement, more expansion, more communication, more depth, more passion, because Scorpio is also, by the way, the zodiac sign of passion. So if you've been wanting more passion in your love life, definitely get ready, because there's something that's happening here that is definitely going to bring in a lot more passion. We also have the Ten of Wands showing up. So perhaps you put a lot of pressure on yourself. And I feel like Spirit's wanting to talk about you and your dynamic right now. So the Ten of Wands is when we have a lot of pressure about things. Maybe we feel really pressured to do things the right way, or we feel really pressured to make things happen or to move things forward. But sometimes with the Ten of Wands, we feel like things are moving slow. It's hard to see progress, and there's sort of that kind of feeling in the background. If so, I really feel like this is something that's going to be healing for you because of this new surprise that's coming in. So it might feel like we're waiting around right now. It might feel like we take on a lot of energy right now, but that's going to very much change. Eight of Wands also being reversed. This is surprise energy. I have to say, this is surprise energy. You might be caught off guard with something in the near future, but in a really good way. And Spirit doesn't want to go too in-depth into it, because of course, that would ruin the surprise, but just know that there is some good things happening in your love life. And also a message that I'm getting from both of these, you might be listening to this right now and you might think that this is right around the corner. You might think that it's going to happen in next month or something. Let me tell you, it's going to happen in an unexpected way, because Spirit would not be telling you this if all of a sudden it would take away from the surprise of this. This will still catch you off guard. So there could be a moment in time where you are thinking oh, the surprise never transpired. It never happened. Well, let me tell you, that's because it's still on its way. That's because it's still in the planning stage. It's still about to happen. So it is going to happen when you kind of least expect it, and Spirit really wants you to know that. So yeah, that's also coming through here with our Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and Eight of Wands being reversed. So we also have Knight of Swords, two sword court cards. So air signs are really prominent right now. You might even be an air sign, as you're you might even be an air sign. That could be also pointing out to your zodiac sign. King of Cups as well. Spirit also wants to bring up cup zodiac signs. So again, this is a general reading. So sometimes the zodiac signs, they might perfectly fit with you, or sometimes they're a general reading and there's a little bit of leeway there. But Spirit also wants to bring up Cancerian people, Piscean people, and Scorpios. Or again, this could be talking about more of the energies that are coming up. But if you know one of these people, this could be indicating that particular person is planning a surprise for you, especially if that's the zodiac sign of the person that you're dating. If you're single, this could indicate the zodiac sign of the person that's coming into your life. So again, all the air signs or the water signs are the most likely zodiac sign that they are. The King of Cups, when he's talking about more of the energies and the experiences that you can be expecting, this is deep romance. This is a deep emotional connection where somebody is pouring out their emotions for you. They're wanting to deeply express how they feel. They are feeling all types of ways. And the King of Cups, he's the deepest of all the court cards. So for example, the Page of Cups, that's sort of like when somebody has a few different feelings towards you, but maybe it's just they really like you and they see it It could grow into something further. Then after that, we get to the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, which is when somebody's feeling even more drawn to you, where it's kind of like, I love you, but maybe it's not on the deepest level of commitment yet. Whereas, like, for example, when we get to King of Cups, he is the top of all the court cards. So his cup is very deep. It's very full. It's very invested. It's full of all the deep emotions. So somebody's going to be really pouring their heart out to you, like your partner, or again, the person that's coming into your life if you're single. And there's going to be a very deep emotional connection that you have with them, and also a very deep mental connection where things are going to be really fun. It's very fun to talk to this person, to communicate. The conversations that you two have are like really fun. I'm almost seeing banter between you and this person as well, like really good, funny banter, where there's like this flirtatious energy where, yeah, like really fun, flirtatious energy where you guys kind of say things to each other that just make you both laugh. And nobody even gets offended. It's just like, it's funny, it's light, it's humorous, it's flirtatious. It kind of like gets a little bit of the flame going, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'm really seeing a lot more of fun and excitement in your love life coming through, and a lot of good things there. So moving on to our next set of cards here. Let's see what else we get for you, my group fours, the next chapter of your love life. Let's see. Really feeling like these ones want to come out. So we have passion coming through. That makes total sense. We have commitment coming through. Then we also have codependency. Okay, so I'm getting a few different messages from these. First off, I want to start off with codependency because I'm getting a message that isn't quite what the surface level of this card says. Intuitively, what I'm feeling from this is this person wants to be very committed to you. They don't ever want to lose you. I'm not getting codependency in the toxic sense from this card. I'm getting the codependency of like the energy of like, I couldn't imagine my life without you. And the energy of like really wanting to create a deep bond together, where almost like I could see you two doing something to show your level of commitment to each other. Which we also had the commitment card. So there's definitely something where you're showing your level of commitment to each other. By the way, the fact that we do have this card coming up, some of you could be getting engaged. So if you're feeling that, if that's this could be what the surprise is, or it could just be some sort of other really big romantic gesture. Like your person is wanting to show how much you mean to them, and they will be doing that in some sort of exciting way. And it's going to be a beautiful surprise. And it's going to really light up the sparks. It's going to be really like, it's going to show all the emotions and do all the things and all that. But we also had the card of passion. So yeah, all of this is like igniting the spark on so much of a deeper level in your love life. If you are single and you're listening to this right now and you're like, this sounds too good to be true. Like, let me tell you, your next relationship is like the one. Okay, if you're single and you're listening to this, I really feel like your next relationship is coming out of the blue and it's going to be the one. If you are talking to somebody and you're just feeling really good about it, like I really feel like I see that this is going really well and this person is going to want to like ask you to go steady with them and be committed, and they want to commit themselves to you. If you're already in a committed relationship, I'm definitely seeing that relationship going to the next level of commitment. And I see it being a very healthy relationship. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of love between you two. And yeah, it's just like, there's such a exciting energy. I get excited while reading these cards because I can feel the emotions behind this. And I just have to say it, it's kind of like, this is what people write movies about. So yeah, it's just really putting a smile on my face while I'm reading it. So we also have the card here of new love. So if you're single, this is definitely like the new love that's coming into your life. If you're already in a relationship, the new love card signifies like there's just, it is deepening. It is getting on so much more of a deep level. And it's a different type of love than you've ever felt before. The love that you feel for this person is completely new compared to any other type of love that you've ever felt. And the kind of new chapter, the new surprise that's coming in is going to like really stir your romantic feelings for this person even more. And let's see, we also have forgiving and learning. I feel like you and this person have a very healthy relationship where forgiving is really easy. And being forgiven is also really easy because both of you are just like, you come from such a healthy place and both of you feel that and understand that from each other. So it's like really easy to accept each other. It's really easy to move on from mistakes and things like that because everything comes from such a good intention already. And there's so much maturity and understanding between you two. So that's coming through as a very positive thing. This next chapter, I really feel like it's just full of positivity. You know, not that there won't be challenges here and there. There's challenges always in any circumstance, but I just really feel like the challenges that you move through together, it's not even like that significant, I want to say. It is significant because forgiving and learning, it's always significant, right? However, what I mean by that is like, it's not a big deal where there's like so much drama. It's sort of just like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand. Like, I'm so sorry for like, I don't know, forgetting to take the trash out or falling short on my responsibilities in the relationship or something. Like, it's like, oops, I'm gonna learn from that, and it's so easy to forgive your person because you know that they're really there to show up. They're really there for the commitment. They're here. They're committed. They're doing their best and all of that. So it's like really easy. I hope I'm making sense right now. Like forgiving and learning with this person is like, it's a breeze because both of you are just as committed. If you've had relationships in the past where things were uneven, where things were like, maybe one person was more committed than the other or whatever, if you've experienced that before, like, that feeling of like, it's imbalanced, right? But what I'm getting from this person is there is such equal level of commitment. It is so equal. Like both of you are here being like, oh, I'm locking myself into this. Yep, this is where I want to be locked in. You know what I mean? And not that you two are like locked or anything like that, but like, you know what I mean? It's just like that level of commitment, that level of like, oh yeah, like I will tie my horse to this. Like this is where I want to be tied. Both of you have that equal level of commitment for each other, which is so freaking beautiful. And I know I'm emphasizing that a lot, but truly, like, it's so beautiful what I feel from this reading. So let's get any last cards here for you for the next chapter of your love life, my group 4s. Ooh, okay, let's see. We have speak truth. So there's a lot of honesty in this relationship and a lot of love. There's a lot of the open throat chakra. It is so easy to be honest with each other. Honesty is not an issue. Communication is not an issue. Okay. So yeah, and then there's so much love. This person's going to open up to you so much more about how much they love you, by the way. There's going to be some sort of something. And I was feeling that earlier and I touched on that earlier, but yeah, speak truth and love. Like this person's going to open up their heart to you even more. I also see you opening up your heart to them more, and it just feels safe. Like it's so comfortable to do so because you know that both of you are on the same page. It's so reciprocated and mutual. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful cards here. My group number 4 is that's all about the next chapter of your love life. It looks like there's a lot of surprises, a lot of really good things, a lot of expansion and good fortune. Jupiter is so expansive. This is all happening in the material world of your love life, and it's going to go deep. There's a lot of passion, a lot of commitment, and I am so excited for you. I also see that you're going to be getting a gift because the second house is also physical material items. And I see this as somebody giving you a gift. There's going to be a gift coming in as well. So just be on the lookout for that because that's also another little thing that I feel like is coming through. So the timeline of this is going to be slightly different for each of you listening to this, because again, it is a general reading, but this is all transpiring in your love life, okay? This is what's going down. This is what's happening. All very exciting things. I am so excited to see like this unfold for you, just because the energy that I'm feeling from this is just so positive. It's so good. Like, this is your forever person, and there's such beautiful things transpiring between you both. In this next chapter, things are just going to the next level, getting even deeper, more surprises, more love, more passion igniting, more openness, hearing more from them, you expressing more as well, and things just getting deeper and more flamey. So thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love. If you are interested in any crystal healing jewelry, I'll have Luna Gem linked down below as well. And thank you so much for joining me here for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.